Welcome to Matters Arisen TV. Good evening, everyone. Today, I have come to update us for the new development on the sanatoria document issue, because many people have rushed to the questura to apply for this very document, but there is hindrance. So I want to explain what is that our brothers out there and our sisters are facing. So I want to explain it direct for you to know if you merit or you do not merit. But before that, let me flash us back. In 2009, if you can recall back, Italian government have bring out this the same program, which many people have applied to, and at the end of the day, many people lose their money because the document was not given to them. So due to some apply out of ignorance, because you never know if you merit or you don't merit. So I want to clarify us about that. So for you to apply for this very document, you can't just go to Questura with any kind of working contract. For example, tirocinio contract is not included. So if you are doing tirocinio, please don't waste your money to go and apply for this very document, because it will be total waste of money. They will not refund your money back, because then they will not reject it once you made a payment. They will collect it. At the end of the day, they will tell you that you are not qualified. So and for those who have a part-time contract under tirocinio again, you do not merit it. So I want just go straight to the point so that you will get it. So if you have part-time contract, don't bother paying any money because you don't merit it. The only people that merit this very document is those that with real contract, even if it is part-time contract, but it must not be tirocinio, it must not be part-time tirocinio, and it must not be a voluntary contract work. So it must be contract work, not a narrow you get one we call narrow contract, which is black job. So those ones are not qualified. And whether you have the part-time contract under the Badante or you have part-time contract under the agricultural sector, in as far as it is under tirocinio, you are not qualified. So before you apply for this very document, before you make any payment, first of all, contact your lawyer or contact your boss. Ask him if this your contract that he give you qualify for so things and so things. So if he tells you that you are not paying tax in that your contract, know that you are not qualified, because those that are qualified are those that have contract that they are paying tax, which means you have Bosa Paga. Inside that your Bosa Paga, it shows that you are paying tax. You have your code. Your income, everything, your net income, everything is there. So if you are not paying tax, there's no need of you applying for this very document. So don't waste your money, because a lot of people are complaining they did this in 2009, they never share document. No, because you never followed the real process, the due process. So the due process is when you have your real contract. That is number one. Your real contract that you are paying tax, it shows that you are paying tax. You have your resident permit here in Italy. It shows that you are not outside Italian territory. Permit you. to apply, and you must have your record clean here in Italy. If you have been involved in one way or the other in anything criminality or anything that they give you some fine that you have or in your name, don't apply, because they will equally deny you the document. If you have problem with, be it carabinieri, be it polizia, be it polizia municipale, guida di finance, but so many of them, before you can apply for this, go and clarify everything, cancel every problem you have with them before you can apply. And if you are owing multa, or maybe you don't pay your light bill and they take you to tribunal, they can equally use it to deny you this very document. It's very important before you make any payment. For those that are applying through online, because you will not see anyone to explain this to you. That's why you need to check yourself, cross-check everything about yourself to make sure that you are pure. You don't have any criminal case or anything multa, which is fine. Anything that has damage on your document or your image, on your name, you must make sure that you keep your record straight before you apply for this very document. Another thing is that for those of you who are already make the attempt to apply, or you are confused, you don't know where to go, the only way to get the whole information, you don't need to go and wait for person. Just or you go to prefettura, go to Sportello Unico office, then tell them that you want to know if you are qualified for so this thing, for sanatoria document. They will ask you of everything, the requirements to provide it. Then once they click your codice fiscal, they will tell you everything, if you qualify there or not. Don't follow them say, because them say will cost you many things. Don't follow them say. Go to prefettura, Sportello Unico, immigration office. Once you reach there, you ask them everything. They will explain it detail by detail. And another thing that will help us is the language. Most of us take this language for granted. Now, if you go to the prefettura and you cannot prove that you want to integrate here in Italy, how can they listen to you? This is another area that you need to work on, because it will deprive you of many things. You need to work on your language, improve in that area, and attend their school. At least you have to get your A1 or A2 and this terza media. These things are important, because in a case like this, they will request it for you. And another thing, for those that do not merit this very document, if you are working under a foreigner here in Italy, if that person you are working under do not have a long document, this thing, resident, a contract the person gives to you cannot give you this document. The person must have a long-term resident, which we call the tempo indeterminato. That is this thing 00. Or the person must have a cittadinanza stranieri, which is a foreign citizen in Italy, Italian citizen for foreigners. So the person must have this, and the person must have not less than 30,000 euro taxable in his or her account. So if the person do not have these things, and the person give you contract, maybe he has a shop where he's selling attachment, or have where he's selling anything, negotiate or anything, but the net worth of those things do not reach 30,000 euros. That means you are not qualified. Don't waste your money. Don't repeat the same mistake that other people have made in 2009. So before you can proceed in this very sanatoria document, make sure that all the requirements that they required for this for the procedure, you are, which, let me repeat them one after the other again. I will and I will explain it for you. Maybe if I call their name, you don't know what that is. One is your working contract. Working contract is the contract you sign when your boss, your guy, your capo give you the document. Inside that contract, you will see your mansione. The meaning of mansione is your position in that work. For example, if you are sado carpentiere, you will know if you do under finitura, ferry, or yes, or which is finishing of irons, or sadatore, or wedding. So you must know your mansione in that contract and the condition of the contract. That is what shows, and the duration and the type of contract. Is it tempo indeterminato or tempo determinato, which means is it a long-term contract, which means it has no ending date, or the one that has ending date, maybe 2 years, 1 month, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. So these are the real contract. But you know, tirocinio is only 6 months or 1 year. You cannot see tirocinio contract that is more than 1 year. What you can see is 6 months, 3 months, and 1 year. Once it is finished, they will renew it. And tirocinio is not paying tax. Tirocinio do not pay tax. In that case, they are not. They cannot give them this very document, because the document is for those that is paying tax. It's for taxable workers. Those that is contributing. Now you are doing tirocinio, you are not contributing, rather they are helping you, because tirocinio is in form of learning work. You are learning, you are not working, you are under learning, so they are building you up. So that is for the contract work. Then resident permit. Resident permit, you know, most people misunderstand resident permit and carta identità. Resident permit is not a carta identità. Carta identità is different from resident. Resident is when you have a house, you have contract house, then you go to the commune with the contract, that the house contract, whether you buy it or you rent it, you must have contract. Then they will issue a resident for that house with you, without the same address and everything. It's not carta identità. That shows that you are living in that particular house, that you are living in that geographical area, and that commune recognize you that you are living there. Once they click your codice fiscal, everything, the house address and everything will appear. That shows that you are living in Italy and you are in so place. Once they send the Polizia Municipale to locate you, they will come there and they will see you there. That shows that you are living here in Italy. You are paying your house rent, you are paying NEPA, light bill, you are paying water bill, you are paying your dust bill. In fact, you are paying everything. That shows you are contributing to the Italian economy. So with that, you are qualified, you are in for the document. Then thirdly, what you need again is your carta identità. Your carta identità is your document, because you never get document. So that carta identità contains your name, everything. Remember, carta identità is 10 years. So with that, they can easily locate you, and with that, it shows that you are in Italy, that you are not from Austria, you are not from Germany, you are not from France, you are not from England, you are here. Because if you are from there, you will not get the carta identità in Italy. So with that one, you are okay. Then another thing is your busta paga. You know, busta paga is not could. It's different from could. Your busta paga is what shows that where you are working, they are paying you. and the amount they are paying you, they will show it there. The tax and everything, they will show it in your Bosa Paga. Once you have all these things, your Bosa Paga will be, they will cross-check it if the money goes to your account or not. Remember, when you are working, they are paying you direct hand to hand. That money is not counting. That is black job. But when you are working, your Bosa Paga must reflect the amount they are paying you and the tax you are paying every month when they pay your month salary or your wages. It depends on the contract they give you. So that Bosa Paga will have details of every transaction that goes on during your work and hours you are working. If you are working for part-time, the hours you are working will show in that your Bosa Paga. If you are working full-time, everything will show. Even the hours you never complete will show in that place. So the details of everything you are doing will show that in that your Bosa Paga. That's why you cannot form it. Even when your boss decide to give you any contract without paying, you must pay that money, rather you know how to go about it. That is for Bosa Paga. Bosa Paga is the details of money you earn where you are working. In case, why I'm explaining this is for those that do not know what Bosa Paga is. Then CUD, which is CUD. CUD is another form of document which reflect that is, they give you 2 times in a year. So this CUD now, it contains every of your Bosa Paga, how much you earn in annually. So they will divide it into 2. Half year, that is 6 months. So or some is quarterly. So that CUD now will have detail, not only the amount they are paying you a month and the amount you have received for the past month you have worked in that company. The total amount they have paid you will show in that CUD. That is the difference between Bosa Paga and CUD. Bosa Paga only contain that month, single month salary, while CUD contain 6 months salary and 6 months tax with 6 months hours of work you have done, and 6 months this thing, everything, the 6 months tax that you have paid to the government. That's what CUD is all about. So CUD is very important because they will use that CUD to estimate your worth, if you are capable of this or if you are not capable, if you need help from government, if you do not need help from government. Where they will know that is through your CUD. That is CUD, and it's very important while you are seeking for this document, because they will cross-check if you were able to pay for the document or not. So there are so many things they will look into before giving you the document. That is it for CUD. Then lastly, they will check your passport if you have traveled, because most of us have passport but you don't have document. You are putting yourself in a risk, great risk, because with your passport they can easily deport you. With it you can be easily deported. So it's not advisable when you are not with the document, you go and do your passport. Even if you do not bring it out. It's not advisable, because any little mistake, yes, people might ask, but they know your country. Yes, remember, before they deport you, they will go to your embassy to ask for that. If your embassy, you don't have that country passport, the embassy can equally deny you. That shows that you are not from the country, which means they cannot deport you to that country unless your country is somehow, useless. So it's not advisable to have passport when you are not with document. So, but if you do, they will cross-check the name, the date, your birth date, that's a date of birth, and every other thing into that. And if the spellings are correct, if the pictures in there, they will cross-check it with other of your documents that you have here in Italy. Once there is any error in that, they will equally deny you this very document. So it's very, very important you have all these things before you can apply for this document. Remember, 400 or 500 euro is not a change that you can just dash them like that. So make sure that you have everything complete before applying for this document. Then if you have all these things and you don't know how to go about it, contact your lawyer, or you go direct, not questura, prefectura, sportello unico, immigration office. Go there and you will do everything that you want to do. If you don't understand the language, tell them that you do not understand the language, and they will find someone to explain it. Don't sign what you don't know, and don't fill what you don't know. There are so many documents that they are sharing now. So know the one you are applying, because for those that have agricultural contract without documents, maybe you don't have without document at all, you are to apply for this sanatoria document, which is for 2 years, or it depends on your contract. But for those who have document already, like you have 2 years before, later then during the time of their former interior minister, then deny you this, then take this document away from you because of you don't have a contract work, so you were unable to renew it. You will go for the one of 6 months contract document. So that one is 6 months and is renewable, while the other one is not renewable. You must renew it with the same that you use. So if you know that once you apply for this document, you cannot renew it with that contract, you must think, what will you do? Because once you have this document, you must renew it with that same contract. You cannot get this 2 years document or 1 year document from agricultural contract, then you change and you enter fabrica contract. You cannot renew it with fabrica contract. But that of 6 months, you can renew it with fabrica contract, and you can travel back to your country, because you are not an asylum seeker any longer. You are not a refugee. You are a free person. You are free to travel and come back whenever you like. But remember, if you are traveling, know that that document must be renewed with contract. So when you travel and you lose your contract, definitely you will lose the same document. So, but if you know you can travel and maintain your contract, you are free to travel. So before you apply for any of this contract, be careful and know the implications, the rules and regulations that follow each of the documents they are about to release, because they know most of us want to get this document and run away from the country. Once it is about to expire, we come back for renewal. This time around, they are very careful and they are working thoroughly in order to make sure that they don't make mistake and they get the whole money they want to build their economy up. So now you are applying for sanatoria document. Ask them what can you do with this document before applying it, because once they give you and you sign it, you cannot renew it with another contract. You must renew it with the same contract, which is agricultural work. Don't play a smart game with them, because they are far better than us. Before you think, they know where you are thinking to. So make sure that you decide before applying. Another thing is that once you get your document, you get it, whether is it a sanatoria document or the 6 months document, don't immediately run out of contract. Don't travel home. Try to build it a little before you can make any move, because most of us will think once you have it, you are smart enough, you can move. No. Try to build it. Once you build your contract, your document, you can move. But if you know you've never built your contract, stay and build it before you can travel. That is the update I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and remain blessed. Remember to follow us on Matters Arising TV on YouTube and Facebook. We are there. Thank you and stay blessed.